Hit it. You're tuned into the show that informs, entertains, inspires, and promotes motorsports everywhere.
Welcome to Winning Wednesday on the Northwest Race Report.
Tonight's show is brought to you by
Miller Kitchen and Bath, Bailey General Contractors, Myers Floor Covering, Welcher's Gun Shop, and Flaming Pig Barbecue.
and by the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, and by Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, and by Product41.com, Atomic Screen Printing, and by BLG Blue Line Graphics. Be unique, stand out, get noticed. www.blg.blue. And now, back to your horsepower performance hosts, Terry Bridges and Glenn Lippy Tower. Oh, what is going on, racers? Welcome to another edition of Winning Wednesday here on the Northwest Race Report. I'm your horsepower and performance host, Terry Bridges. As always, I got the best crew chief in the world right here, Mr. Glenn Lippy Tower. What's going on, Lip?
It's all good in the hood tonight.
And he couldn't be in the studio because he's he's coming a few days later, but we've got the UAS Grand National Committee Chairman, Mr. Michael Lane, in the house. What's going on, Michael?
Not much. How are we doing tonight?
Never better. Never better, especially since you're here.
And it isn't raining.
Yeah, absolutely. We have got a dynamite show for you, as the title suggests, Prelude to the bk12. We got Michael Lane, and when Michael's done, we got Mr. Ronnie Syersw going to be joining us live by phone. But to start things off, two things. Lippy, you could probably relate to this. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away.
Absolutely.
Eleanor Claire Berg was born on 1/25/2020 at 9:16 p.m. Healthy baby girl, 8 pounds, 4 ounces, and 20.5 inches long.
Woo!
Brad and Alyssa Berg, congratulations.
For sure.
That's amazing. And I'm sure they're going to be wonderful parents. If he's as good a parent as he is a race car driver, she's in good shape. Even if he's not, she's in good shape. On the flip side of that, the Lord taketh away. This is sad news. Some of you may or may not know, but local standouts from back in the day, Chuck Bown and Jimmy Bown of Rose Auto Wrecking. Dick Bown was also a stellar Hall of Famer here from the Northwest. Their sister, Sherry Bown, passed away this weekend.
Oh.
Due to complications after she had some heart surgery and stuff. I got a message from Jimmy, and man, that's always so one comes in and one goes out. But the beauty is, well, I don't know if it's beauty, but we're all gonna meet that fate someday.
True that.
So yeah, we got a great show for you. Like I said, we got Michael Lane, we got Ronnie Syersw, we got a whole bunch of stats. We got Salem Speedway, we've got WHR championship points, we've got Roseburg, we've got the Strebe Speedway awards, and we've got a special award. I'm not going to tell you till the end. It's pretty awesome, I think, anyway. But before we get rolling, a couple things. Flaming Pig Barbecue, one of our great sponsors, is having their grand opening this weekend. They they used to be in a truck, and now they're in a brand new spanking building. It's all fresh and, like a new car. It's kind of dialed. You got to break it in a little bit. So they're inviting everybody. If you guys can get over there on your way to the BK, whatever, stop by Flaming Pig Barbecue. I kind of messed up. I didn't get the address, but nobody's going to listen to the address. Just find Flaming Pig Barbecue on your phone, hit it in maps, and you'll be there. Yes, The Northwest Figure Eights has big news. They set a figure eight race at Yakima.
Oh.
I know, right? Might take some work, but you know what? If James Connolly's behind the job, I guarantee it'll get done. He's an amazing guy, and he's the head of the Northwest Figure Eight Series. And so stop by their page, check out more on that info, but that's just hot news. They're going crazy. They're going to do a figure eight race on the dirt down at Grace Harbor.
Wow.
That's going to be insane, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff. And you go-karters will recognize this. Home of the Big O, Patriot Speedway, promoter-wise, changes hands. That's big news.
It is. It's quite big news.
Patriot Speedway will not run a regular race program this season. The track has been leased for the next 5 years and will now be under control by a corporation that intends to do major renovations to the facility. Many good things are coming to Patriot in the future, and there will be the possibility of some big race events this year. Patriot Speedway will remain one of the best tracks in the Southeast, and we wish them the best. After 11 years of operating tracks, we have decided to step away at this time. We have been involved in racing for several decades and will continue to be involved in some capacity. Everything we have for track operation is for sale. My family and I would like to thank everyone who has been loyal and supported us from the beginning and throughout the years. We have many friendships we have developed from racing, and we want everyone to know we love you and value your friendship. If I have wronged anyone in any way, that was not my intent, and I ask for your forgiveness. This is where the cowboy rides away. See you down the road, Boyd and Charlotte Maloney.
Something.
Big news, a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Lane, weren't we just talking about that? Where'd you go?
We definitely were.
Yes,
we were
I was saying we were just talking about that.
It has.
Yes, we were.
A major corporation.
Soon.
As long as they.
It might be Budweiser. I don't know.
As long as they keep it true to the racers, then we'll be in good shape.
You know,
Amen.
And knowing Patriot, I don't know Mr. Malone. You probably know him better than I do, Michael. But if you've been doing it for decades, there is no way you're going to allow nitwits to come in there and take it over. I'm sure this is after a lot of thought and, a lot of thought and process involved there. It's not just oh, yeah, sure, here, take it. Good luck, Chuck.
Yeah, we truly hope so.
Absolutely. Have you run a Patriot before?
I have not. That's one of the races that's on my bucket list to at least go and attend. That, Thanksgiving Thunder, and of course, this coming weekend, the big BK, I'll have my first opportunity to come there.
Yes.
One step closer to the bucket.
You will not be disappointed. I guarantee.
Yes.
I
I'm
guarantee.
Very thankful. Very thankful to everybody that made this happen. It was quite a whirlwind over the course of the last 2 weeks of this all coming together. So I got to thank Renee Angel and Ronnie Cox and Chuck Knudsen and everybody at the UCR team and everybody else that has reached out that has said that they are happy that I'm coming and want to meet me and we look forward to getting there. And then, like I said earlier, we just confirmed that 2 other guys from the team are going to be there as well. Scott Bowley will be there Friday night, and then he's got to fly back home early Saturday morning. But Gil is coming up. Gil actually is arriving in Salem as we speak, so he'll be there too. So we got 3 of the 5 guys that are going to handle the Grand Nationals this year that are going to be there this weekend. So it's a pretty awesome thing.
So what the hell's wrong with Chisholm and Powell then? Where are they at?
I know Jody's been extremely busy at work, as has Dave. Dave just the other day said he had just come off a 20-hour shift, and I'm like, wow, you're putting in some hours there. But Dave's got a couple race teams that he's involved with too, and then of course Jody has the whole ARC racing business, and that takes up tremendous amounts of his time. So
all I'm going to say is, here we go. No, I'm kidding. They're good guys. I love Chizzy. I just met Jody at the Grands this past year. Seems like a really good guy. So looking forward to getting to know all those guys too as well. But so I know it's late back there for you, so we're going to get you kind of in and out. But because you're going to be able to talk to everybody here on Friday, but just kind of wanted to go over. I know our last conversation was when Mark finally handed over the reins to you guys, and you kind of explained what you were going to do. But how about a little update as to what's been going on, how things are working, how the flow's going, how you're getting along, all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, so we originally had been talking with Justin Westerfeld about selecting Lawrenceburg Speedway and as the location of the Nationals, but everybody knows that fell through, and so we finally selected Wheelersburg Raceway, which we've had a lot of positive feedback on that track, and the promoters actually put on what they call the Summer Nationals way back in 2009 before the Grand National theory really kicked off, and everybody is excited. Everybody is starting to gear up and go and want to go there. We just released the paid parking spot map today, and it sold out in just under an hour.
Wow!
Which is incredible. To the point where the promoter has had to add additional spots, and she's making some other little changes too. But that's a pretty awesome thing.
Yeah, that's what you want, man. That's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I have on our Facebook page for the UAS Grand National team, I have a spot on there for the event. If you go on there and click on there that you're going, that will help give us a head count so we know what to expect for UAS and junior UAS.
Sweet.
Because we don't want to forget the juniors. They were kind of forgotten last year, and that certainly is not our intent. We want those junior kids coming, and we want to be able to promote those junior kids too, because they're the future stars of the regular UAS senior group. So we really want to have those kids and promote those kids as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I remember at Phoenix, I think there was 3 or 4 only. I mean, yeah. James King and DW3, Daniel Watkins, and one other kid from down in, I think it was Arizona, I think.
Brian was there, too, with his son.
Yeah, so, good deal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good deal. We just gotta get people more used to it. I think that's just because they're so new and, not fresh in everybody's mind.
Well, a lot of it's new, and a lot of people that race karting in general are on fixed budgets, and so it's difficult to get all of these kids to travel around the country. But we if we're going to have a race in an area that has a lot of juniors, then we want to obviously promote them as well, because the more we can promote those kids and the more that we can get the Grand Nationals level up for them as well as the senior carts, the more people that'll travel with their kids. It's like hockey tournaments. When you set up a really big hockey tournament and you travel, a few states away to go to a hockey tournament, we want the same thing to happen with the juniors for the UAS as well.
Absolutely.
I don't think you guys are going to have any problem, because as soon as the venue got announced, a couple of my friends that work in the industry that supply parts to the UAS stuff, both of them saw a spike instantly in parts ordered for the general area where the Nationals are going to be. So it's going to be a big deal. It is.
Well, Lippy, that's a great point what you made. And now I know it's not pavement, but I do know, having worked with the Whirlies who are going to be there this weekend, Midnight Motorsports, they run Tri-Cities over there. And the county did a little little report thing, and they said that for every racer that showed up, they were going to spend $450 to $500 while they were there. Lodging, food, all that kind of stuff. So, man, you count 200, 300, 400 people, come in there. That's a chunk of change.
It is, yeah. It's an influx to the area that I think everybody's going to appreciate and start seeing the value of what the UAS and this race has to offer for the regions it goes. It truly is a big deal.
Yeah, and I know. Go ahead.
That's one of the projects that behind the scenes that. So people think that we're just going to go to the racetrack and we're going to run a big show, but there's a lot of things behind the scenes that we're working on. Like I have a couple guys on the team working on contacting all of the karting companies and whatnot to get sponsorship and promotional items and whatnot from them. I have other people that are working on coming up with a outline for the drivers meeting. I've enlisted the help with some of the local drivers to try to get me in touch with TV stations and radio stations, because we want to promote that. We want fans in the stands, not just the additional karting people there, to come watch what this is. Wheelersburg Speedway in the Wheelersburg area, they're mostly known for they have a big late model race there every year. And we want to be the complement to that this year. We want to be, hey, if you're going to go see the big late model race, plan on making the trip for inexpensively and come see the next generation of guys. That some guys want to go to late models, and some guys have come from late models and are now racing this style of karting because it's so exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very exciting, and people, it's the unsung thing. It's something that, when people do finally make it there and see it, they're like, oh my God, why have I never been here before? And it's a great approach what you're doing. If you can accumulate the data to figure out what the show brings to the area, it's a great selling point from this point on to continue to build that stat. So that it can really encourage other venues in other areas, because that's what happens with this thing. People come from all over the place, and they don't just blow in town and attend the race and leave again. They blow in and leave a good portion of themselves there, kind of like gambling, but different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's but you said it keeps you plenty busy, right? I mean, I knew what I was getting into volunteering to do this, but don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun and I enjoy doing it, but it definitely is a lot of work, and I don't want anybody to kid themselves. It's a lot of work I'm completely surprised that Mark was able to do what he does on a daily basis for the UAS, and then on top of that, do things for the Grand National. So I understand why he enlisted the help of the regional administrators to do what he did, but for a 5-guy team to do what we're doing to make sure that this race is hands down the best UAS race in the country, it's a lot of work. And we have a fantastic team. The 5 guys are working extremely well together. Mark is very happy with everything that we are doing and how we're progressing and moving forward. So everything is looking fantastic, and we're definitely going in the right direction.
Definitely.
We're doing a lot of advertising on our Facebook page, and we're highlighting all of the drivers that are planning on attending the Grand National. So if you're a driver out there and you're planning on attending the Grand National, get me your information so I can highlight you on our Facebook page. It's kind of a series we've been running every Sunday, and everybody looks forward to that. They want to see who the drivers are. They want to see what kind of things that they've accomplished as a driver. And we're putting all that information on there so that people can read about the drivers, so that they can get to know them, so that when they go to the track and they're like seeing who the drivers are, it's like the World of Outlaws. I'm rooting for Donnie Schatz because I know a lot about Donnie Schatz. And so now like we just did Ronnie Cox last week or 2 weeks ago. So if you go to the track and you see the UCR 9 cart, they're going to know who that person is, and they may be cheering on Ronnie because they like the looks of his cart, or because they read about some of his accomplishments, or whatever the case may be. So that's why we're doing the highlights and that type of thing. So I encourage everybody that's going to the Nationals, that's either UAS or junior UAS, get me your information so that I can get it posted up on the page.
Yeah, and if you're dumb enough to not want free exposure, then go ahead and don't send it. Right.
So one of the things that everybody loves about the magazine is everybody strives to do something to get their name in the magazine. Well, this is kind of our way of saying, hey, you know what? You don't have to wait to get in the magazine. We're going to give you that same similar exposure that you're getting in the magazine, but we're going to do it on a little smaller scale because we're doing way more of them, because we're doing it on a weekly basis. You don't have to wait for that quarterly magazine to come out to see if your name's in there.
Well, you know what, Lane? What we need to do is when you do a write-up on them, what we could do is kind of collaborate and maybe get them on the show, right? Or because I've got my other show that I can do anytime and have that to post up whenever. So they could call in during the week and we could do a half hour to an hour-long show about them and what they've done and talk racing, and then, boom, we can post that up. So that might be a little bit extra thing. That'd be my way of, our way of kind of helping help promote it too.
That would be great.
So,
So we'll work on that. We'll talk about that when I get there, and we'll try to get that figured out.
Correct, for sure, yeah. I mean, 18 heads are better than one, aren't they?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Well, hey, man, we got a lot of stuff to cover. We appreciate the update. You're going to be here in a couple days. What time are you coming in on Friday?
Looks like I fly in around 1-ish. I'll grab a car from the airport and head down, get checked into the hotel, and get ready to come over to the track when the track opens so I can be there for Friday night and peruse and see everybody, and then we'll hit it hard on Saturday for the race. And I'm going to be taking lots of notes so that I can write the article for the magazine just like I did for the Grand Nationals, and we'll make sure that I get everybody's names and numbers and carts and engines and all of the good stuff that everybody likes to read about.
Wow, cool. So that means that I'm not going to do it. So I've got ousted.
It's a collaboration.
I've got ousted. I worked so hard to get in that magazine, and now I'm ousted.
It's a collaboration.
No, I'm going to give you credit for the article. I'll just write it for you. How's that?
Well, hey, let me ask you, are you going to have a headset like your dad?
No, I'm not going to. That actually didn't work out. He thought it would work out great. Yeah, it didn't work out because it was an inexpensive headset that he had, and when all of the carts were running and stuff, it took over the mic and so forth. So it really didn't work out that great. So he ended up having to take hand notes and sent me all of his hand notes, and then I scoured YouTube and Facebook for video so I could write the article.
Man, I know I've done that too, but that's like having my laps and then hand scoring.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, hey, thanks for taking the time to be on. I am looking forward to personally meeting you. We, yes, Lippy and I, and even hopefully the loader will be down there maybe. But man, thanks for the time, and like I said, I look forward like crazy to chatting with you and meeting you and hanging out with you and having a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. This is going to be fantastic.
First round's on me.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Michael. Thanks for calling, buddy.
All right, we'll see you in a couple days.
Okay, man. Bye-bye.
Yep, bye.
Michael Lane, everybody. He's the head of the UAS Grand National Committee, the 5-man team. It's going to be sounds like they're going to be doing good things for our series. So there are going to be some sad folks who sold their stuff because they're going to wish they had it back, it sounds like to me.
For sure, it is going places.
Yeah, and here's the thing I love. We talked earlier. He's a former, he was pretty high up, former hockey official.
Oh.
So, trust me when I say you ain't going to pull no wool over this dude's eyes. He's going to call something, and you can bark all you want. He's got some pretty thick skin.
Exactly.
And like he said, I didn't make the call. The other 4 guys did. Because there's a 5-man committee, so, hey, you're covered. Everybody's got each other's back, so good luck trying to beat up on one guy.
There you go. I got his back, too, so it's all right.
Absolutely. Salem Speedway.
Good time.
It was a good time, huh? I think they had around 50 entries.
Yeah, a little over 50, yep.
That's a much better cry than before. Track was amazing.
Amazing.
Not rough at all.
Nope.
I went rolling out. Bob said, so, Angel talked to you about the track? I said, not really, but everybody else said it was pretty good. So, nice and smooth. Super Sport 200, Dave Wooten, Ty Easton, Mark Wooten, Wade Bauman, and Foxy Ingalls.
Go Foxy.
Foxy. Lady. Ty Easton should have had that. I don't know what happened to him in the feature, but, it's like Dave Wooten. He does that all the time. He saves the best for last. Predator. Main event. It went to Brennan Gregg, Steve Miller, Joe McLean, Sam Venable.
Miller's on fire all the time. I'm surprised he only got second.
Miller's good for just showing up there. That Brennan Gregg kid is tough.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's
not taking anything away from him.
No, but he's got some good gear underneath. Mm-hmm. That product41.com stuff is, oof. And he'll be joining us about 7:30, Mr. Ronnie Syersw will. So we'll get the update on what's going on there with Product 41. LO206 heavy, 380 pounds. The Hatchinator. Is he tough or what?
He is. Again, saved his best for last.
Yep. He followed Hall around. I'm telling you, that Greg Hall, not a lot of people know about him, but I'm telling you what. he is one fine wheelman. You can trust him. He's clean as a whistle. He'll race you hard, but I'm telling you, he's good. Hatch, Greg Hall, Larry Wheeler was rolling, dude.
There is my wheelman. I'll back that guy anywhere. He is got a unit. He can run that thing.
Here's my beauty. He says, we backed off the prep stuff and went mechanical because we wanted to learn our stuff. Hallelujah, right? Greg Norman in 4th, Brian Green 5th. Rowdy kind of faded. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Too much prep. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty sharp with the mechanical, too, I do believe.
Yes.
206 Light, the 55B, Mr. Beard. Or no, the one of Dakota Gridland. Then it was Justin Beard. He was coming like a house of fire.
He came from the back.
Yep. Brennan Gregg 3rd. The 666 of Mohawk Brian Morris.
Another one that's got a wheel.
Yep, he can really wheel it. The 7 of Ethan Wheeler. Young kid is pretty good.
Ethan is good.
And Vince Eaton. KT Heavy, 370 pounds. At the end of the show, Renee Angel.
She schooled us.
Dude, sorry, but she did.
She schooled us.
I mean, she worked.
I thanked her afterwards for setting the bar high.
Yep. Renee Angel, Artie Carpenter. Boy, dude, I'm telling you, AC3 is legit, and he just showed it. He hung out with Andrew Zimmer. You saw what Zimmer did when he went with Foul. Everybody thinks, these pavement guys are tough, man.
He was riding a Wicks ride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I missed the opportunity. He wanted to get in mine this weekend, but it just didn't work out.
Dude, he put, did you see the move he put
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I'm telling you, man, it was sweet. It was sweet.
Kicking myself.
And then it was Rusty Rossmeyer, the 11 of Joe McClain, who also is a wheel.
Yes, Joe's turning out to be quite
He's good. He's been at it for a long time. And then Corey Markham. When's the last time Corey Markham was 5th in anything? Right? He's always there.
Yes, he is.
That's almost like, what's wrong? That's just how tough it's getting.
Mm-hmm.
Wiley, Whiplash, Eaton wins our kid kart. He's 5 years old. Drove the Wetline Racing Comer. It was awesome.
Mr. Swyers.
Your favorite drivers and people of interest in the motorsports world. It's time for In the Sea, powered by Blue Line Graphics. Before I announce our guests, I'm going to roll through these last 3 classes really quick. KT Light, 330 pounds. It went Rossmeyer, Tower, Megan Eaton, and that was it. Nobody else finished. Junior 1, Preston Finch, the captain, Caden Marentate, and Addison Smith. And then in Junior 2, it was Piper Harless and KJ Eaton. UAS Opens. It was pretty good. It went Kravitz, Jones, Smith. Here's what I'm going to say. Levi Harless can roll. Levi Harless can roll. Don't tell me you need body work. And don't tell me you can't run with treads. He kind of got used up, but that's okay. He was still rolling. And, Chuck Jones started getting things figured out.
Yes,
David Smith. It's still early for those guys. And that'll just tell you, as good a wheels as they are, this just tells you what these UAS carts are. You don't just get in these things and walk to the front. It's a steep learning curve.
Absolutely.
Forget everything you learned on your Predator or your 206. It's out the window. It's got to be dead on, game on. We'll be back. I've got tons more for you, but we got our next guest, Mr. Ronnie Swyers, Product41.com. What's going on, my man?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing amazing. What are you doing? Sounds like you're at the shop.
No, he's out.
I'm actually in my office, and I'm just going through paperwork.
Oh, you're in the outhouse?
The outhouse.
You got a half moon on the door?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's probably where your wife kicks you after all this racing stuff.
That's me.
Right. She switched the handle on the door and puts the lock on the outside.
And you know what? And she could, too.
You're going to see her Friday, so, yeah, she certainly could.
Yep,
Nice.
I've seen her before. To
Nice.
see her live is going to probably be really amazing.
Yeah.
Did I just say that?
Out loud.
Yeah, she's going to come down to her house for Friday night and stay down there Friday night.
Well, ain't nobody going to give her no lip. Well, they're going down, baby.
It's always good to see the wives at the racetrack. I
It
always
is.
appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah. She got to check up on me down there.
At least once a century, right?
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
Yeah. A lot of people don't believe I'm married. That's the only reason why Lippy believes me is because he gets to see her every week. But until then, he's like, BS, you're not married. She's never there.
I see your attitude change when I'm up there sitting in on the show. I see your attitude change when your wife walks the door. So
Oh, dude, you know that, dude. Hey, you don't not learn anything after 26 years, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, at least
Absolutely.
hopefully you don't. I mean, you do, but
Yeah.
so let's talk P41.com Arrive and Drive. You know what you've started? You've got Arrive and Drives trying to pop up all over the place. You've got Store doing one over in Spokane. You got people talking about, how to do it and, wanting to do it. And, dude, good on you for that. Good on you for that.
And I'm always willing, when people want to know how to start something like this. I mean, I probably told the story before, but I remember, 4 years ago or something, I think the first person I was talking to was Steve King online and wondering, as a racer, hey, I didn't even know Salem Speedway existed. And I found out about it through Kyle Keenan and started poking around. Hey, I got to go jump in one of these things. And they said, well, there's nothing to rent, you got to, so that's what kind of started it. But, if anybody has any questions of how do we do it? Why do we do it? How do you price it? What do you provide? I mean, I'm an open book. I can, certainly guide anybody like Store up there. I heard he's doing it, which is great. I mean, give the opportunity to bring in racers from other disciplines of racers, like road racers or sprint kart racers that want to try it, but don't know they want to make the whole investment.
See, and that's where I think a lot of people will. It's kind of like the three in basketball. You live by it and you die by it. If all you're doing is renting to individuals that, let's just say, either don't want the responsible and whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? You're going to die with that. You've got to be bringing new blood in there. You can't be renting to racers just because. And I'm not dogging Store. I'm just saying that's got to be high on the priority list, is to get new. I mean, really, that's what it's for. Honestly, I mean, it's okay if somebody wants to. I mean, I get it. I understand. But if you've raced before, whatever, I mean, it's really, to me, it seems like it's about the new people. And
yeah, and when I started it, I wanted to, give the opportunity for new people. Again, the people that don't want to make the investment or just want to come down and run a few races or just a Friday night practice or whatever it might be, but open the door to grow the sport. And of course, as you guys all know, the dirt indoor stuff and dirt oval stuff was completely new to me. So it's kind of a gateway in for myself and to bring some other new people in with, of course, all my other previous racing background. But, like Carrie Hopkins is a prime example that she's not going to buy everything, prep everything, transport everything. She wants to show up and drive. So that's one key. She's, it's her second year with us. Adam Bean is a great example of somebody who came in, wanted to try it, ran a race, bought a cart, and now he's racing.
Yep.
He wants to do it anytime he can. So, I mean, that's really what it's kind of geared toward too, is one extreme to the other, but promote the sport, meet new people, and
give them the time of their life. I mean, that's just it.
And once these people get in, I call it, I've got racing families all over the country, that I'm involved with, but this is my Salem racing family. Once they see you guys and are involved with this group, I mean, it's part of the family, and it's addicting, and it's awesome. It's totally awesome.
It is. I think a feather in your hat that you did early on was surround yourself with people that are good at what they do, and are willing to share that and help the next generation move on with it. That's really something that's been an asset to you, that has allowed anybody that comes to your camp to thrive, instead of giving them everything they need, but not the coaching or the
kind of throwing them to the wolves.
The setup help.
Right.
I mean, you
Right.
did that very, very well, and it's working very, very well.
Lippy, that's a great point. I mean, because we've all been there in the beginning when you're starting out, but as you progress, you kind of forget how tough it is. And so, a lot of times I say what goes from your brain to your hands real easy doesn't always go from your brain to your mouth real easy. It's like, what do you mean? Come on, everybody knows. No, not everybody does. And you kind of forget that after a while. So you have to hone your, you might say, geez, I mean, are you kidding me? You don't get, but you know what? Everybody learns at different levels. So you've got to be a psychologist as well as a good coach and stuff too.
Bingo.
Yeah, and like Lippy said, I think the point you're hitting on, Lippy, is when we started this program out, I mean, the key component, like I think I made a comment here a few races ago to Terry or something. He came in and talked about the team manager, which is Brent Meyer. That's not his official title. That's just, I mean, he's instrumental in our program. Obviously, I make the comment that when him and I talk, it seems like on a daily basis that, hey, I think I bought everything you need, and I'm just going to haul it down there for you, and you can look at everything we got and tell me what we don't need, and I'll have it next race. But he's been very instrumental in the program, and everybody who knows Brent, he's a huge asset to our team, and I think he's a huge asset to a lot of racers down there as well. We made the joke here a few races ago when we had an open seat because of driver injuries. I said, hey, Brent, why don't you jump in that thing and run it? He goes, nah, why don't you jump in and run it? I'm like, well, if I get in and run it, then I got to clean the dang thing. So I don't want to clean it. So I'll clean it if you race it. And he goes, no, I just want to help everybody. This is cool. So, that's kind of his mentality, help everybody and with an open pit. And again, we're learning every race. Both of us are. And I feel blessed and fortunate to have him there, and blessed and fortunate to have met so many fantastic people down there that continue to welcome our program in there. So it's awesome. Yeah,
the Wisconsin Whiz is a good dude, man. He's really a good dude. And I've always said this, passion and the love for something covers a multitude of sins. You don't have to be an absolute expert if you've got the passion and the people skills to, take care of people and make them feel good. Because really, at the end of the day, that's what this is about. Is you're trying to make people feel good about themselves. And as they spend some money with you.
Well,
right.
And that's just that's good, common, basic business sense. I mean, so all I know is any and everybody who's jumped in the thing has been lickety split. I mean, look at Janders. I mean, look at Mojo. I mean, well, he didn't really drive your stuff, but he drove. I mean, it's when you got good stuff and you got a little bit of talent. I mean,
right.
it makes it. Ronnie came in and he ran like a house of fire. I mean, it's just almost everybody that's been in the darn thing. Kellen Dean. I mean, just boom. I mean, and so that's a testament to both them and you guys. You guys adapt real quick and real fast, and that's what you got to do.
It's a fast sport we live in.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it sure is.
Yeah. Every bit of it. So.
But here's the other thing, Ronnie. You stepped up early and spent some coin to do it right. And I think that's what also brings a lot of people there. I mean, I get it. If you're going to do it, you can do it. Maybe you have to do it a little bit more low budget, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, if you're selling people and telling them, hey, man, I got any wheel combination you could need, offsets, widths, whatever, hard to beat that, especially when you show up and you look at this stuff and you go, holy cow. I mean, has that ever even touched the racetrack?
Yeah, well, it's I guess we showed up with all the cool stuff and the big trailer and all this stuff, and really it's an interesting story because when I thought about doing this program, I know I needed a large enough trailer to do it, but more importantly for me, I needed a trailer that had living quarters, because when I'm coaching here in the Northwest and at tracks, I like to just go for the weekend and stay in it, or the week. A lot of stuff I do is during the week. So I'll travel on a Wednesday and be at a track on Thursday, Friday, say, and I spend enough time in hotels as it is. So for me, the trailer, that whole outfit was more about, where do I get to spend my 8 hours by myself, TV and a toilet, a shower, and a bed. I mean, and then the 30 feet behind it was kind of the bonus. But certainly that sort of a trailer is not needed, the grand outfit. I mean, showing up with knowledge, in my opinion, it's having some knowledge and having somebody that knows what they're doing, and having a decent supply of parts. So if somebody crashes something, you got to fix it because they're paying you money. And if they break it, you should have something there to replace it with as best you can. And have a decent presentation where, in my opinion, everything, if it's clean and organized, you're paying attention to detail, and you care about the program. Anybody can do it,
but not anybody can do it.
Well, I don't know. I think anybody can do it. Anybody can do it that wants to do it. We're just fortunate that we were the first ones that sailed to do it, and again, blessed and fortunate to be there and with the group and our drivers. I mean, the drivers, Chad Fullis and Fullis Kart Racing up in Washington, sent us some drivers down to get his pavement drivers in on the program. Introduced, Janders and some other folks that came down. And then our full-time people, Carrie Hopkins, what a dedicated driver she is. I could go on and on about her, to our program, and
Eric Blois and
Blois has been down a couple times, and now he's deployed. And thanks for his service to our country.
Absolutely.
But Carrie, this is a stepping stone for her, getting her mind, or like I told her, getting your mind working really fast in close quarters. She just went and bought a full race car here a couple months ago, and she's planning. We're running the full NASA program down in Utah, and the goal is to run the national championships there this year with her. And again, as you guys know, she's fun, she's loving, she's dedicated, and can't say enough about her.
Yeah, can't think of a better place to hone your skills either. I mean,
right.
It's as close quarters as you can get. It's reactive racing. You must be reactive or you're going to the back. You have to anticipate things way ahead of time. I mean, it is a great way to spend your winter. It's a great way to spend your summer, but a lot of people just spend their winter down there, and it's
right.
It is the way to go. It's way better than anything else that happens during the winter.
Well, it's better than running in the damn rain outside.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
I just saw somebody that joined in on the group here, Russ Frazier from up in Hood River. He's an old high school friend of mine, a couple years older than me. Boy, you want to talk about one extreme to the other. We run on pavement and dirt, and this guy's got a four-wheel drive shop up in Hood River, and I remember getting our four-wheel drive truck stuck in the mud up past the axles. Oh boy, the memories. His name popped up there.
I remember the meme says it's buried up to the door handles, and it says, they said it would be fun, right?
Yeah.
And they said it would be fun, yeah. But yeah, it's about the racing, but it's also about the relationships and the I mean, I did it way back, but I mean, I don't even really do it now. So, but for me, it's all about the people, and I mean, they're truly are some just absolutely just ridiculously cool people out there doing it. It is.
It is a
It's
family.
total family,
It's very giving.
And anybody who thinks that it's not, just look at our racing family here from this group of people and some of the people who have lost loved ones and things, and look at all the outreach to. I mean, that right there just tells you,
It truly does.
Yes.
And then it extends outside that too. We bring in, there's the racing family we deal with on a weekly basis, and then the supporters of it. And I always gotta plug the supporters. I just see Dave that chimed in, the owner of Zamp Helmets. Huge supporter of motorsports and good products and stuff. And him and I have become such good friends over the last.
Will he be down this weekend?
I don't think he's going to be. No.
Never met him, but I'd like to.
He's a great guy. Yeah, he's a motocross fan, motorsports fan, two wheels. I think he's primarily two-wheel guy, but no, he's what a great company that is as far as developing new products and innovative and forward thinking and
absolutely. If you don't have a Zamp helmet, you should.
Right, and we're giving one away. That was one of the things I proposed to a couple people this year. Hey Dave, the big race is coming up, the UAS. Let's go in and give away a helmet to the winner of the UAS. And he said, hey, I'm all on board for it. Let's do it. So
yeah. We love the way you and him give back. It's just it just makes a shining spot in the whole thing, because that's what it's really all about. Some people give time, other people give what they can, and that's definitely what you guys have done. You give way more time, but still, I mean, to give time and product is huge. That just people love and appreciate that.
Yeah, and he, I've been trying to talk him into getting down here, and they just made a large move of their business to Boise now. So starting in November, they were taking truckloads of stuff that direction, and I know he's up to his eyeballs getting his fancy new building going and stuff like that to better serve his. It's great for him. I think his daughters live there, and it was a good move for him there, and then also puts him in a better position to meet his demands for the East Coast people, things getting there quicker for them. It hurts me a little bit because I can't just drive across the bridge and see him. But anyway, he'll be missed, but we'll still see him as often as we can.
For sure.
We definitely appreciate him, that's for sure.
Well, hey, Ronnie, we got tons of stuff to get over. I got some results to get in and some stats to do. So, but good chatting with you. Looking forward to hanging with you and doing some Victory Circle stuff and
absolutely
all kinds of cool stuff this weekend. So we'll collaborate. I'll be down. I think I'm going to leave. I'll be down Thursday night sometime because I got to clean out the announcer's booth.
We got Kellen Dean coming back this weekend with us for a one-off race.
Smoking.
So looking forward to seeing him, and the family was going to come down anyway to see, and so we had an open seat, so he's going to jump in it, and of course
make it look good.
Yeah. If we can catch those lead guys and see if we can get Brennan Gregg a win in the lights. The kid's just knocking on the door. So what a talented young kid.
Definitely.
Looking forward to a good weekend. So.
Yeah, and mature beyond his years too.
And you wouldn't know it talking to him in the pits. He's just a very smart, analytical kid, and he puts the helmet on, and he's an absolute beast on the track. I love it. Absolutely love it.
That's what we look for, and I look forward to seeing you around the campfire.
We're going to go do that. I look forward to it. Yes, you bet. Okay, guys, I will let you go.
Ronnie Swyers, thank you, man.
Thank you, guys. Look forward to seeing everybody down there this weekend.
Yep, and appreciate all your support of the show. Seriously, it's amazing.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely,
all right, man.
Guys.
Talk
all
soon.
Right, everybody safe travels. Okay, take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Product41.com, Ronnie Swyers.
Needs to get out and support that guy. He is an awesome supporter of our sport.
Dude, you just can't believe how cool a guy is till you meet him. I mean,
so down to earth.
gosh, ridiculous, man.
He does come by our campfire every time we have one, and it's always a pleasure. He has some of the best stories, and all around great guy. You can bounce anything off of him, questions, comments, that kind of stuff. And he's always been in a similar circumstance or can relate to it and give you direction. It's just,
well, don't fool yourself. He wasn't a bad shifter wheel, man.
No.
He was. I mean, he might not have been no Billy Musgrave, but the boy was tough.
We'll see him on Sunday. I hear he's getting in one for one of the 206s. So.
Yeah. Well, you saw when he ran he ran almost should have had Hatch.
He swears he's not going to be hungover this time, but I'm dedicated to change that.
Make sure that's it. Hey, moving on, we got some results to get through, and then I got some cool stats. I scheduled this till 8:30 because I want to make sure I give the BK plenty of time. But I'll try to get you guys out of here earlier. WHR Motorsports up in Monroe had their championship points. It was the best 5 out of 6 races. In the pro class, 35 entered at least one race.
Wow. Huge.
Trey Starks, Derek Moss, Spencer Constance, Tristan Thomas, Bradley Shaw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through 10, Paul Hoppy, Andy Pelham, Tyler Weber, Levi Harless, and the Rocket Ronnie Cox. Open, Trey Starks.
Wow.
David Jensen, Travis Hawthorne, Tyler Weber, Levi Harless, top 5. 6 through 10, Paul Hoppy, Andy Pelham, Colin Starks, Jeff Slough, my boy from Tri-Cities, and Garrett Coletti. KT Heavy. Geez, I hate to say this. Bradley Shaw.
This is luck.
Spencer Constance. I'm just kidding. Chris Court, Lane Sunholm, Garrett Coletti. 6 through 10, Jeff Taggart, Bryant Carlson, Cassidy Sunholm, Bob Frankhauser, and a 3-way tie for 10th. Derek Amundsen, Brett McGee, and this one, Patrick Wheelock. No, I didn't steal him. KT Light, 1 through 5, Tristan Thomas, Maurice Shaver, great guy, Derek Moss, Josh Williams, Dan Hoppy. 6 through 10, Riley Hood, Nick Ward, AJ Butler, Ronnie Cox, Devin Fisher. So the 9 finishes 9 in KT Light.
Got what he wanted.
Adult Predator, Joey Scolari, Jason Thomas, John Peterson, Nick Tuller, Dylan Resch, Emily McFadden, Lorne Jershaw, Reese Wickard, John Skinner, Jeff Taggart. 40 plus. George Griffin, Iron Mike Marshall, Chris Court, John Skinner, Mike Jewell. 6 through 10, Jim Heller, Travis Hawthorne. Who is this Travis Hawthorne?
He's everywhere.
Jeff Taggart and Lane Sunholm. Ronnie Cox was 10th.
Missed the 9 by 1.
Yep. Schoolboy, which is Junior Predator. Aiden Goodman. Now, is that Shaw's kid?
Wouldn't know.
Haley Constance, David Hill, Chloe Hudson, Serena Sweeney, top 5. 6 through 10, Allison Hill, Xander Anderson, Alexis Sunholm, Caleb Irvin, and Jalen Hoppy. There's a lot of Hoppies, huh? Mm-hmm. That's a big family. Mini Cart, McKenna Morgan, Drake Wiersma, Clay Jalaskis, Tanner Olson, Madison Hoppy. 6 through 10, Brody Williams, Rhett Scolari, Paisley Harrison, Mike Smith, Cooper Anderson. Isn't he a TV guy?
Cooper somebody.
Yeah. Coop. Strebe Speedway Kart Tour.
Ah.
Guess who won it?
Michael.
I mean, who else?
All right.
Jeez. He's like my boy, Cody Hoops. Guy wins everything. Kevin White was second.
Nice.
Matt Strebe third. Cody Fundin was 4th. Riley Hood 5th. Cody Fundin's an outlaw. He's a figure 8 guy. 6 through 10, Derek Moss, Uncle Chuck Knudsen, 7th. The Rocket, Ronnie Cox, 8. Paul Hoppy and Alan Terrell.
Go Moss.
Owner points. Michael Strebe Motorsports was P1. 2, 3, 4, and 5 go Strebfest, Jet Motorsports, Team 31 4th, and Strebfest 5th.
Wow.
They must have money. They got a lot of cars. Strebfest was 6th. Hall Motorsports was 7th. Jet/Strebfest. Need I say they got money? 8th. UCR 9th. And CarterRacing.com was 10th.
UCR, right where they wanted to be.
9th. Roseburg. Did you see the air that kid got? Patrick Desbians. Did you see how high in the air he was?
Yeah, hanging on the fence.
How in God's name it didn't destroy that thing? Because it didn't hardly even look like it took a hit. That thing had to have been 10 feet. It was huge. I was like, what? It's like, holy smokes. Don't talk to me about air. That was motocross air right there. Beginner box, Bentley Mead, Elijah Humphrey, Silas Holden. In box stock, it was Andy Horner, Keegan Bounds, Bentley Chapman. Open Subi, Andy Horner, Tim Smith, Jeremy Long. 250, Carly Holmes, Casey Simmons, Ryan Hirschbach. And in the 500s, it was Steve Snotter, Brody Sim, kid's a stud, and Keith Heitzman. Big shout out to Speed City's Lori Fuller for being an NWRR Triple R roving results reporter.
Nice. We need more of those. Thank you,
Yes.
Lori.
She's on it,
Yes.
like Blue Bonnet.
We appreciate it very much.
Now, I know this isn't Late Model Monday, but I did go letter that guy's hood, right? His name is Stephen Blankenship. He lives right down here in Rough Exit 88, right by South Sound, Chehalis area, or Tenino. And he went to the Super Late Model 2020 Chili Willy 150. He had Shane Harding as his crew chief. If you don't know who Shane Harding is, his dad is Pete Harding, one of the winningest NASCAR Northwest Tour drivers around. And so he went down to run. I mean, it takes, he had to pay big money to get Harding down. Had to fly him down and do all that, get the car. I mean, it's an undertaking anymore, right?
Yes.
He got 10th. He got a top 10. I thought that was huge. Preston Peltier, Mark Neff, Cole Raz, former quarter midget guy. Austin Tom from Newburgh was 4th. Ron Norman 5th. Cody Vanderwall 6th. Paul Banghart 8th. Luke Hall 9th. Eric Holmes, Steve Blankenship. In the legends, Chris Eggleston, Darrell Stewart, Tim Brookhouse, Travis Rowe, Levy Jones from over in Meridian area. And Brock Denny was 6th. Tyler Hicks, Corey Wegner. I know that I'm drawing a blank here. Why am I? Hyder went down, but he said luck just not go their way. In the Thunder Trucks, Brandon Schilling, he runs with the Northwest Super Late Model Series. He was 3rd. Dan Doherty was 2nd. And Cody Cambensi won it. Mariah McGriff, Herschel Jr.'s daughter, was 6th. So, good stuff. And I told you I had something special. Mino Gino, this is for you, baby. The World Championship Snowmobile the World Championship Snowmobiles were at the World Championship Derby Complex in Eagle River, Wisconsin. Brent Meyer probably knows where this is. Blaine Stevenson, Nick Van Strydunk, Travis McDonald, Colt Delandria, and Thomas Olson was on day one. And in the vintage snowmobiles, it was Matt Godey, Troy Deswald, and Andy McDarrow. Mino, don't say I don't do anything for you. So, with that.
What's up, race fans? This is the real deal, Chris Gibb, and you're listening to the Northwest Race Report.
UAS BK12 coming up this weekend. Championship night on Saturday. Race of Champions on Friday. If you're on the fence as to which one to go to, both.
Definitely.
You can't do one without the other. I'm going to wait. Lippy's going to go potty, I think. Yes. And so, got some, I got a few interesting facts from, I got home after Salem on Saturday, and I was at the in-laws' house, and I got some cool stats for you as soon as Lip gets back. But I will say, I did tell you about the big news for the Northwest Figure Eights. They have a date set with the Yakima Speedway on August 8th. Should be really, really cool. How they're going to pull out, I don't know. But you know that why am I keep drawing blanks here? He took over the track. He has a trekking outfit. Gosh, why am I drawing a blank? Somebody help me out here. Never give up. Let's see here. Bryce Clark, where can I watch BK12 online? Dirt360.com. If he shows up. He was supposed to be there Saturday, but we didn't see him.
Aha.
So,
yes,
but there'll be somebody. I mean, somebody on Facebook is going to be going live.
It's supposed to be Dirt 360, so look them up and find it. I think it's dirt360tv.com.
Correct.
So,
or Joshua Jean on Facebook.
Yes.
That's what that is. Why am I drawing a blank on the promoter's name at Yakima? I can't.
Which Yakima? Where?
Yakima Speedway.
Oh, is it one of those?
No, I got it. Anyway, he's awesome. He can pull a rabbit out of a hat. But I was just looking at. I found some stuff. I stumbled across some old paperwork. Check this out. BK7. Okay, which was won by Brad Berg, by the way. Number one qualifier was Eric Stansberry at a 10.178. That's bloody fast, dude.
Yes, it is.
That is bloody fast. Race Diotti is what they got on here. Do you see that?
Yes.
How perfect is that? The hitman, Race Diotti. Ryan Diotti, but he went a 10.252.
Yep.
Chase went a 3.21. Lawton went a 10.364. Quite honestly, I think he was the fastest car there in the main event. He just spun twice. Brad Berg was fifth at a 10.486. Jason Gibb was sixth with a 10.509. And he hadn't been in a kart in how long?
Years.
Cox was seventh with a 10.583. Renee Angel was eighth with a 10.593.
556.
Really?
That's what it says on lap 1. 10.556.
But look at the total time over there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe it was 10.569. Yeah, that's what it was. So I don't know why they didn't put the one over there.
Yeah.
But Jay Mehoff,
that would
otherwise known as Zach Schmitz,
yes.
was ninth.
That guy.
With a 10.673. Now, this is a guy that doesn't show ever. And he shows up. And he does that. I got to say, Zach Schmitz, honestly, in my personal opinion, is one of the most naturally talented drivers. I mean, for just never having to do anything. Look at, I mean, he showed up, that one BK, and showed up, at like 3 o'clock, and he still made the feature.
That was this race.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And during the main, he did a pirouette on the back straightaway and didn't lose
Yeah,
a
like
spot.
10 feet before 3 and still got in and drove in, and it was still sweet and it turned.
Yep.
Even Chris C. said, dang. So, man, but, Schmitz, and you have Pessanite, Stackman, Atkinson, Steve Smith, Ron Bowles, Scott Smith, Ford Cook, Anna Singleton, Travis Anderson, Christy Mayo, Walsh, T. Weber, Case Hinkins, Lonnie Teacott, Aaron Elton, Sean Carr, Terry Lawrence. I mean, come on.
Yeah. It's
Loaded.
stacked field. For
Loaded.
sure.
And then I'm going through my thing, and all I had was the roster, but, I mean, listen to this. This was not 8, but 9. You had Cox, Stansberry, King, Renee Angel, Jared Storr, Lauren Canals, Ron Bowles, Anna Singleton, Stephen Smith, Kevin Bridges, the Titan, Tim Lawrence, the Ironman, Joe Stackman, Ryan Fernandez, Case Hinkins, Tony Williamson, Stephen Chase, Chris Hager, Zach Schmitz, Scott Boley, Chris Southern, Thomas Southern, Matt Fontaine, Shane Smith, Ricky Worley, Trey Hornberg, Ford Cook, Ryan Diotti, Tyler Weber, Kevin White, Jake Mann, Jeremy Brown, Chris Passanante, Robbie Yao, Kyle Wick, Joe Ransom, Brad Berg. These are drivers I haven't heard from. Josh Cully, Travis Anderson, Scott Smith, Chris Mello, and George Griffin. Hello. Don't tell me this isn't one of the most stacked UAS races you'll ever see. It's as good as the Big O. I mean, this year, Ronnie Cox, Chris Worley, Garrett Thomas, Brian Esquinia, Scott Smith, David Smith, Rusty King, Renee Angel, Joe Stackman, Chris Pessanante, Chuck Jones, Kyle Wick, Tim Mendez, Wade Humphreys, I don't know who Wade is, Joe Ransom, Dan Kravitz, Brad Berg, Ryan Diotti, Robbie Yao, Evan C., Dan Watkins, and Kyle Pease. Those are the ones that have signed up. So I did some research. BK1 was won by Renee. She had a Legend and a Sudam. BK2 was Ronnie on an Invader and a Sudam, or the Stegosaurus or whatever that was. BK3, a Legend for Garrett Thomas and a Yamaha KT100. BK4 and 5 were the Crossbones and the Franken clones of Wayne Felch. BK6 was an Eccentric and a 450 of Lawton. 7 was an Eccentric and a 450 of Berg. 8 was a Triton and a PK250 for Diotti. BK9 was a Rival and a 450. BK10 was a Rival and a 450 and a BRC 150. And BK11 was a Phase X and a 450. Dude. So, I mean, it's basically what we know other than that Invader in there and the Crossbones. It's Legends and, well, you got Ultramax and a Phantom in there.
Yep.
So I talked to Renee Angel, and she missed BK 5 and 6. She hurt her shoulder in one. She was in that, her
midget accident.
Yep. I don't know what happened. The other one she got DQ'd because she restarted or something, but she didn't miss it. But BK 1 through 4, she had a Legend with a Sudam.
Mm-hmm.
BK 7 through 11, she had a Steve Gannon with a 450.
Stout.
BK1, she was first. BK2, she was second. BK3, she was seventh. BK4, she was fourth. BK7 was a DQ. BK8, she was fifth. BK9, she was third. BK10, she was fifth. And BK11, she was fifth. That's one out of a top 5 every BK. Nobody ever thinks about that. That's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is.
But it all gets blown out of the water with this one. The Iron Man, Joe Stackman. BK1, he was on an Ultramax. BK2 through 11 was on a Legend. But here's the crazy thing. BK 1 and 2, he was on an IKF legal KT 100.
Yes, he was.
Amazing. BK3, he was on a TT 75 119.
Stout little guy.
BK4, he was on a PRD 131 Fireball. BK4, he was on a Vortex 143cc. BK6, he was on a Jawa. BK7, he was on a 250 Bama. BK8, he was on a CRE 250. BK9, he was on the 143. 10 on the 143. 11 on the 143. And 12, he's going to be on a 450. All 11 thus far. The record has been set. He's going for 12. I want you guys to chime in. Is he going to make 12? I mean, seriously. And I'm not trying to, everybody say, of course he. Seriously. I mean, nobody hopes he does more than me. But don't you have to start thinking, it's kind of like being in the military. How many times are you going to go over to Iraq and come back okay? Sooner or later, your number gets, it was close last year. Fernandez, that was just out of sheer respect. He could have forced it and didn't. I commend him for that. I really do. That takes...
Fernandez is a top-notch guy.
He really is.
Yes.
You can say what you want about the little clone thing, whatever, but he's a good dude.
Yep. I'd race with him anywhere.
Yep, I would too. I love the guy. Fernandez, I love his name. It's just killer. So, that's kind of some interesting facts that I got from Renee and the Iron Man. And Rocket's probably got a ton more, but, I know he's, pretty busy. But think about that. An IKF legal KT 100. I watched Harless down there this weekend. And I'm like, yeah, you might get 8. As long as you don't get used up, you could probably hang. But my guess is you're probably going to get used up.
As he did.
But, you are going to get used up. It just don't have quite enough poop. Maybe in the late, if you could make it to the late stages, you might have a prayer. But I just think it's wishful thinking. Not that it can't be done, but it would be tough.
The officiating won't allow it to happen.
Well, I don't know. You're going to have the head of the UAS Grand National Committee there, and he rules with an iron fist. Everybody likes him now. I can't wait to see after the what happens. No, I love Michael Lane, but that's what happens, right? Greg, that Lane, But you know what? It's going to be the same for everybody. And
yes, it is.
And he says, like any official, when you walk into the place, it's going to be run by the rules. From the time you show up till the time it's done, the rules will be followed. There won't be any of this, wishy-washy and, no. It's going to be, and he's going to let everybody know in the driver. When you got somebody laying out your driver's meeting for you, you're in for something. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Guy wants to be a fly on the wall in that meeting, don't he?
I will be.
Absolutely.
So do we know how this is all going to go down?
Well, this is my understanding. I was a little perturbed, quite honestly, when 5 to 9. I mean 5 to 8:30. You know, and then you have all the other. You know, to me, it seems like a rip when you got guys driving 3,500 miles across country, and let's be real. 5 to 8:30. That's 3 hours. You might get an hour and a half, maybe. That's a long way to come, you know. And everybody says, "Wow, hey, you go out." That's if everything's perfect and you don't break nothing, or you know everything's all good. But sometimes it takes time. We all know how that goes, right? You're lost. You're at the launch. But it is what it is because the curfew. Honestly, we're not supposed to be on the track till 6, from what I understand.
Right. He did allow us an hour early.
But here's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't you cheat earlier and go 3 to 8:30? Nobody's home at 3. So how are they going to bitch? They're not going to hear it. So go at 3. You're safe. You start at 6, and you're just asking for trouble. I think, but I'm just saying. I don't know.
I think it's more time than they got at the Grand Nationals. So with that aspect, you know, they are getting some time, which is more than you get at some places. So, but again, you know, it is a big deal. It is in the middle of winter. This year, it's not going to be as cold as it's been in the past. So there's not that factor that adds into it. But still, it should be a good show. And like you said, practice is going to start on Friday at 5:00. It's going to go till 8:30.
We'll be live on Facebook for the pill draw for the Race of Champions because that's how that's going to go.
Right. And so, you know, everything should go off without too much of a hitch, and it should be a good deal. And then on Saturday, what's going to happen there? Do we have the schedule for that?
Well, we can't start until 11. Driver's meeting is just like at Salem normally at 10:30. I think they're going to give some practice, and if it was like last year, I think we qualified at 1 o'clock or
right
close to 1. And then from then on, it's just straight up, you know, heat races and consies, and you know how it goes. You'll be able to tell about 5 o'clock things start heating up, right?
Yep. It's when it gets serious.
Yeah, that LCQ, the scent of the money and the Buddha trophy. You can just tell it gets. You go, wow, this is going pretty smooth, and then, oh baby.
And there is plenty of money online. The deal with that is we don't want it to be a brawl. Ronnie doesn't want it to be a brawl. There's plenty of money up for grabs in all the classes, but it's not announced because we don't want the race to be about that. You will be rewarded at the end, but he doesn't want it to be about that. I understand that. I respect that.
Absolutely.
Just be known that you will have
you will be taken care of.
Yes, exactly. So come on out and have a good time. And
I mean, you'll at least cover your pit spot.
Bring your race helmet and make it happen, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I mean, and the main thing here is really remember, keep it in perspective, people. I mean, it's really about being there and remembering a great guy who loved the sport. I mean, he wasn't even really a UAS guy yet, I don't think. I mean,
he
UAS
was an open guy.
He was an open guy, then that's cool.
Yeah.
But Ronnie said he liked them big and bad. The bigger, the better, you know. And, boy, he's got to be just cheering, you know, up there from what this turned out. Because, I mean, well, you were there. I mean, shoot. We got done at 5 minutes to 2 on that first one. I remember because I was in my car, everything loaded, and I was just leaving the place at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was amazingly cool. You know, and, you know, the Rocket's a pretty, you know, he's a pretty manly dude, but, you know, it took him a while when he won BK2. I mean, because it was still fresh. That had a lot to do with it, but it was so cool when, you know, he had to, like, gather himself before he could talk, you know? I mean, a lot of people say, oh, you know, no, it was cool. That's just how much it meant to those that wanted to, especially those guys. I mean, especially the ones that knew him really good. Like Rocket. But and Renee. I mean, man, those wins. I mean, that's something that nobody can ever take away. Like Renee got bk12. I mean, that's almost as huge as making 12 straight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something nobody can ever take away from you.
Nope.
And so it's just keep it in mind, people, that it's hey, you want to go win the thing, but gosh, you got to go run over your mom and sister and whatever else and do all that to get the W. You're missing the whole point.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, if you got to stuff people to get a spot, you're just missing it. And yeah, no dumpster drivers either down there. I mean, I don't know. Learn to go around somebody on the out. It's not, the bottom is not always going to be open. Sorry, it's just not. So don't sit there and
use skill instead of brute force.
Don't stake out the bottom and just and then try to root and because guys could have 2 tires in the infield and 2 in the gutter, and somebody's still going to try to go on the bottom. It's just not always there, guys. So keep that in mind. I mean, if you got to beat on somebody and it's your job to get around them. It ain't, you don't beat on them and make them move over. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's just not cool. So, but I'm done with that. It's going to be awesome. I hope Brad shows up. He said he was. I said, so what are the odds of you making it? He said, might not good, but it's going to be last minute. But you know what? I'm keeping the faith. He's going to be here.
I can't blame him if he doesn't.
Oh, me either.
First and only child.
But he did say the little glimmer of hope. He says, but you don't know how bad I want to get a third BK.
He'd be the only one.
So you know what? What a record that would be. I mean, I didn't think Felch's deal would ever. At the time, I thought, wow, there's no way. And then you got the Iron Man, Joe Stackman. Hey, and if Renee Angel, I mean, dude, before you could pick it, kind of. But now, you might look at that list and go, well, it's not quite as well, maybe not. But that makes it even tougher. If you think about it,
it will be on day of.
And you got to look at Renee. She's a completely different driver than she was last year or even the year before. I mean, completely different.
Definitely.
Right? The place owes the Rocket one. That place has not been good to him at all. He heads on into the wall. He had a shot and then the head. It's kind of like Darlington. It's too tough to tame, Salem Speedway. Everything's got to be just right. You could see, you buy for Diotti's deal and you say, well, yeah, but has he been in the car? Is there anything to that? Some say, well, that's Diotti, man. Well, I don't know. Is there anything to that? I don't know.
He's like Schmidt as far as I'm concerned. He's just a natural. Once he gets in, it's all business. So
it's kind of like riding a bike. We don't know if Lawton's coming, but we haven't even talked to Yao.
Nope.
We haven't talked. He had a tough time. Evan C.
Yep.
We haven't seen his potential yet either there.
Nope.
And we all know what happens if he hits it. Just go back to Pennsylvania.
C checked in early too, so he was here.
Lights out, baby. He was ghost.
Mr. P's in the house right now.
Oh, JP. It is anybody's game.
Thank you.
You want to say, well, I don't even know that having time on the track makes any difference. When you get to this level,
nope,
it doesn't really matter. Everybody's so darn good that practice till you're purple, but all you've done is wore your stuff out. It doesn't give you an advantage, right? I mean,
I think Ronnie said that earlier, where is that? How much practice do people really need?
yeah, I guess that's true.
Truly. I mean, I need a lot, but some other people don't. So,
Well, I mean, here's the deal. What if you have brake problems? You can't figure out what's wrong with your brakes. Anybody had that issue?
a few.
So you waste all your time. You don't even really get any laps, so you don't know whether you head out and you go, well, I'll find out in turn one, right? I mean,
The only thing I have to say that's our saving grace on this weekend is we don't have to share our time on the track. So in the past,
what do you mean? It's not open for all the KTs and all that?
No, I'm just saying motorbikes aren't involved.
Well, I never thought they were they?
Not for the BK, but on most race weekends down there, we have to share our time, and it makes it tough. So it is all kart only, so
Yes.
you got much more of a chance to get out on the track during the practice time. So
Well, and I'll also say, I guess this is what separates the men from the boys, because this is the kind of stuff nobody thinks about. But you have to be efficient with the practice time you do have.
Yep.
So that means you got to show up. You can't say, well, Lip, what do you think we should do, man? I mean, no, you got to have a plan. Hey, if it's too tight, we're going to do this first, this second, this third. If it's too loose, we're going to do this. I mean, you got to have a plan so that you make the very most of the practice time you have. Otherwise, you're going to waste it chasing stuff that you should have already figured out. Well, I don't know. Should we do stagger, or should we put a gear on it, or should we? I mean, what do you think? So by that time, they're calling you. Well, I guess we're not going to do anything this time. So we'll go see if it's any better than the last time. We didn't change anything, but it might be better. That's what I mean. See, so that's what everybody thinks, that this is so easy, and that, it's just go, it's no different. You got to think things out. You got to have a plan. You got to look at Berg. I think Berg would fall over and die if he got off the trailer and was good. I don't think he'd know what to do, right? Because that's what he said. We're always terrible when we come off the trailer, but they've got that plan that they've worked on. Now, you throw a wrench in there, and he unloads, and he's a missile, then what? Now, all of a sudden, your mind's going, well, geez, we're good. Oh, I know. Let's see if we can screw it up so we can work it out. I mean, but you know what I'm saying. There's a lot to this deal that nobody gets.
Yes. Everything has to line up. All the planets have to line up. You have to be in the right place of mind. Everything has to line up, and that's not ever easy.
It isn't. I mean, it's.
Having said that, I left Rusty in the shop working on stuff down here.
Now you're making me feel bad.
No, I'm not racing, so it's his stuff. But
here's what it is. In one summed up sentence, really, it's probably too simple, but my belief is it's the elimination of as many variables as you possibly can. That's really what's going to, because we hadn't even talked about, you got to be good in a heat race. You might be really good, but that doesn't stop you from getting shoved into one, or, tangled up in a mess that wasn't your fault, that you're trying to avoid. I mean, there's just so much stuff that can go cattywampus.
And the littlest things make a difference. I'll just give you a for instance. I spent last night an hour and a half working on Rusty's throttle, the throttle of his new kart. And he didn't think there was anything wrong with it. But after an hour and a half, he loved it. Because brand new kart. He's only been in it once. We practiced it on last Friday. We had some issues with it. We figured out what the issues were. We ordered the parts we wanted to fix it, but we didn't race it on Saturday. I started playing with the kart while he was working on some other stuff, and I could feel a lot of tension to push down the accelerator. And so I started going to work on why there was tension on it, what was causing the drag, why it was happening. And after an hour and a half and changing several things multiple times, I finally got it free flowing. But can you imagine being in a long race where you're on and off the throttle and it's hard to push down? You don't think about that when you're in a race because it's not something that's on your mind. You got a lot of other stuff, but you happen to push on something that's hard and resistance to you. At the end of the race, you're tired and you don't know why.
I mean, not to be known, but was it the spring? What was it?
So there was multiple things that went on our new chassis. There's 3 different settings on the pedal of height-wise where the rod rides on it. And it was set on the highest setting. So
to give you a longer throw?
To give you a longer throw. We didn't need the throw because it's a Yamaha, and we got that portion of it all figured out. So I ended up lowering it down to the lowest setting, but it was still the Phantom. The way it works, it's got 2 guides that the rod pulls through, and they were binding up on themselves as it was pulled on. So I ended up having to do a bunch of work to it and raising it and tweaking it so that it didn't have any of that tension on it, and it was just free. You know, especially with the Yamahas, when you come into the corner, we like to lift, but we don't like to lift a lot. We lift up a little bit to keep our momentum and everything else going on. But when there's that little bit of resistance that's pushing back against you, or it's hard to push on, then it becomes a choppy acceleration, and we don't want that. It all needs to be smooth. And by the time I was done with it, he kept asking me, why are you spending so much time on this? I said, it's not right. And I finally figured it out, and once I was happy with it, he was very happy with it, and I think that'll be something that pays off in the end. And those are the little things that
right.
If you get enough of them, it's what pays off.
It is. That is the stuff that however, I will say, to your driver's credit, it's nice to have a guy that can say, get it close. I'll will it where I want it. Right? I'll take it from there. He's the type of guy that it doesn't, I mean, it's only going to make him better, and that you want it right, but I mean, he's the type of guy that
yeah, but you
can, you can hit it, but I mean,
You were there last Saturday, though. The Yamaha class is no slouch.
It isn't.
We got a lot of people coming from out of state and out of place that are very good people. And just with the crowd that's normally there last week, we had a lot of trouble getting where we ended up.
He struggled.
Yes. And so, the whole game down there has raised up tremendously. And we're looking for anything we can. We just need a little bit more.
Well, it's like the old theory, right? You say, well, you take a lap, right? Or you say, we're, a hundredth or a tenth, or that seems like nothing when you talk about it singly. But if you've got 4 corners, that's damn near a half a second. I mean, it's huge.
Right.
And it's a lot of times it's easy to find that half second. That's usually a major, you've got something majorly issued. It's those hundreds and thousands that you're trying to get that make the difference between, whether you're on the pole of your heat race or, you're third.
We've got a straightaway just to pick up to where Renee left off. So if she comes up with any more, we are in trouble.
Well, and that boils down to the old adage, if there's any truth to it at all, is seat time is everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like golf. You are not going to just show up here, and I don't care how good you are. You're not going to just show up here and mop everybody's, well, I almost did. But, I mean, still, I'm just saying, it's seat time is, it's the rhythm. It's everything. It takes you a bit to get in the groove. If you've been doing it all year and you're, there's just that, I don't know, there's just a natural deal that is kind of there. And then, but if you haven't been out all year and you show up, now you got to, it's just, I mean, you're still good, but it's just not that habitual. I don't have to think, you're just, I don't know, you're questioning everything. I don't even know if anybody understands what I'm saying, but there's just that natural groove, the zen or whatever they want to call it, that you're in when, there's that confidence of knowing, hey, I've been in this thing. I know it like the back of my hand. Of course, I don't know. Then we watched Renee go 3 or 4 laps. She didn't know the tire was off the cart. So, I mean, maybe that's really in the zen, but that'll just tell you how good that thing was if you can lose a wheel. And so maybe 3 is better than 4. I don't know.
Rusty ended up heavy in 4th place down there, and we had a flat left rear. the valve core, when we checked it on the grid before he went out, had something in it. So when we checked it, it checked fine. But whatever was in there, I'm guessing a grain of dirt.
That's why you got to put a cap on it.
It hung it up, and by the time the race was over, he was on a totally flat left rear and still pulled down 4th place.
Got to put a cap on it.
Well, we checked it right before we got.
I know, but you should still have a cap on it. That's why they're there. I don't know. Nobody. What do I know? I'm just an announcer, right? But
I have a hard enough time checking it, let alone put a cap on it.
Well, I'm just saying. That's why they do that. I'm pretty sure. But hey, we're over.
Diotti's checking in.
Oh, the Hitman. He says Lippy knows. So do I, Diotti. So do I, Hitman.
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Race Diotti. I'm going to bring that paper for him. It says Race Diotti. But, hey, man, all I know is I am super stoked.
Looking forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah, man, that's really why I love it. And, I mean, if you're listening in and you're not sure, come to both. These are the best. I promise you, they are the best in the business. I mean, I'd stack them up against anything back east. Sorry, but I would. I'm not. That's no dog on the back east guys. It's just that we were a little behind on tires and stuff there for a while. But I'm just telling you, man, the BK is the most legit dirt race karting wise I've ever. I mean, I've been to several, but there's just nothing like this. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
We're getting caught up here tire wise with the Clovers and the Sharpleys and the Yows and the Penantels and all those people, coming out and giving us a little bit of schooling.
That's correct.
To bring our game up, because we got to keep up with them. So
that's it.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Those guys have been an open book and shared, but they're true champs. They want to beat people at their best.
Yep.
They don't want to beat. I mean, anybody can go mop up some scrubs. I mean that's nothing, but it's win your money. I'm telling you. So, yeah, I don't even know what to do with myself, but I'm gonna tell you. Watch BK11. Did you see Williams? I loved where he filmed it. I know you couldn't see the whole track, but man, those cats were rolling. I mean, just unbelievable. Berg, get here. Diotti, I can't wait to see you. JP, can't wait to see you. Mikey Al. Oh, I mean, Mr. Cervantes. I mean, all you guys. It's just Fernandez, Atkinson. Bring it, y'all. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Esquinia. Good luck, Chuck.
Yeah, definitely. Squinia.
5A, baby.
Going to be a good time seeing him.
Heck yeah. Well, we love you. Show in the books. You are the reason we're here. We hope you'll tune in next week for another Winning Wednesday here on the Northwest Race Report. Oh, I got this. I forgot to show you guys. Listen. Oh! Yeah, baby. That's a little teaser for you for Saturday.
Thank you to Haskins Tire.
Well, another show in the books. You are the reason we're here. We hope you'll tune in next week for another Winning Wednesday here on the Northwest Race Report.
Lippy here. If you like tonight's show or any of our shows, please like and share on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by TerryBridgesRacing.com. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our shows. Thanks, y'all.
See ya.